American cities are now considered targets as updates from different government agencies, including the FBI, have confirmed that there are in fact probably terrorists within our country right now. Oh yeah, that's definitely a huge warning for all of us here.
Under questioning by FBI agents, New Yorker Ali Karani admitted in 2017 to being a member of something called Unit 910. It's the Black Ops unit of Hezbollah, controlled by Iran. Karani told agents he was trained to be a suicide bomber and was scouting targets in New York City. He's now in prison. Another Unit 910 member in prison this year, New Jersey resident Alexei alias Alex Saab, had also scouted potential targets around New York City. While the exact number of Hamas and Hezbollah sleeper cells operating within the United States is not known, a comprehensive study by George Washington University last year found the most Hezbollah activity in Michigan, New York, North Carolina, and California. If Americans are wondering if they're safe from the kind of attack Hamas carried out against Israel, terrorism experts say the answer is not encouraging. Former FBI Special Agent Eric Karen.
We have over 1,000 joint terrorism task force cases going on here in America today relating to Muslim extremists.
So far this year, authorities have caught 151 people on the FBI's terrorism watch list, trying to illegally enter the U.S. through the southern border. That's 50 times higher than 2 years ago.
Wow. I mean, I'm kind of lost for words here. How did this happen? Do they mean to tell us that an attack can now happen at any time because this administration practically invited these terrorists to come through? Because we're hearing different officials from the government calling out President Biden for allowing this. Now, let me ask, do you think that he's to blame for all of this? Comment a quick yes or no on that one. And while you guys are at it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any of these important updates that, frankly, all of America needs to hear. Appreciate that, you guys. Now, since we've already talked about him, President Biden, he's getting a lot of heat from critics who say that he needs to do a better job of, well, protecting the American people from foreign nations. But with his policies, they say that they kind of leave us wide open for possible attacks.
If this happened on U.S. soil, we would be fired up and we would absolutely go after these terrorist groups. And so this is nonsense. This is pure evil, and we need to fight this war. We need to make sure that that Israel has the support of their biggest ally, and that's the United States of America.
Governor Abbott, you've been dealing with obviously a migrant surge of enormous proportions, and FBI Director Wray, as well as other top U.S. intelligence officials, fear that among those sneaking in are those who could harm us and maybe take some inspiration from what Hamas did to Israel a few weeks ago and do it here. How do you feel about that?
Listen, Neil, we're extraordinarily concerned about it. Let's be clear about one thing, and that is 4 years ago, we had the lowest illegal border crossings in 40 years. When Joe Biden came into office, however, he eliminated all of those good policies, and now we have open border policies where this past year, 2.4 million people were apprehended coming across the border illegally. As you know, Neil, that includes the highest number ever of people who are on the terrorist watch list. We're extraordinarily concerned about terrorists in our country. The top job of the commander-in-chief is national security. Joe Biden is failing at national security because he's not keeping potential terrorists out of our country. The FBI Director Wray nor the president have any idea whether or not there is somebody from Hamas roaming around the United States of America who could strike this kind of deadly attack on our own country. We need a president who's going to step up and secure our entire country against dangerous threats like Hamas.
Now, you're thinking this can't all be true, right? The United States is safe from any threats, and none of them were here in the country. Well, former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy thinks otherwise.
I'm concerned about a cell sitting inside America today. We just caught 18 people just last month on the FBI terrorist watch list. coming across our border. More than 160 have done it this year, a record breaking. When we're looking around the Middle East and the uprisings popping up around Europe and others, they could be sleeper cells right now in America, but this administration hasn't done nothing to change what's happening on the southern border.
Now, we've heard it from the FBI themselves. We're going to have to expect attacks, and you heard in the beginning, some cities are in more danger compared to others, although those are cities that are actually confirmed. They're probably not giving us the entire deal here. Like, what about cities that maybe didn't quite make the list but are still of concern, you know? And speaking of the FBI, one former director basically confirmed what McCarthy fears. And well, it's starting to seem as if these sleeper cells are going to be a huge problem for many different cities.
Are they right? Is it just a matter of time before we're dealing with what Israel's dealing with here?
Absolutely, Neil. I mean, this is the greatest terrorist threat to this country since the pre-9/11 run-up. And I think it's even more pronounced now because we have these conflicts, these cells in the United States. I mean, when I say cells, I mean Hezbollah and Hamas, but mostly Hezbollah have been around for a long, long time, raising money, committing crimes and raising money for Hezbollah. Those cells could quickly morph into violent cells. And with the southern border being as open as it is, we have no idea who's in this country. So it's a combination of what's going on in the Middle East, as well as that wide open southern border. We got to have a couple hundred FBI agents on that border trying to determine who's coming in. We have completely negated all the security steps that we took after 9/11 to keep terrorists out of this country.
But what is Unit 910? Well, according to my research, and don't worry folks, I still get some sleep, but yeah, this group, it's an elite unit and functions as a strategic arm of Hezbollah and Iran. You guys remember how we've been going at it with Iran, right? Even exchange words in the UN right here in the country in New York. So here's a couple of things that might worry us just a little bit with this group. So it says here that they can go through training that includes field security, working undercover. That's going to help them get into the United States, huh? Sabotage techniques and even camouflage, since these people are expected to escape from any given country if they're compromised. Now, the most terrifying part of all of this is that they've been known to have complete disregard for the consequences of their terroristic activities, meaning that their attacks have at one time or another affected completely innocent lives. Now, one thing I want you guys to think about and take it as a very pessimistic outlook on this entire thing. What if, and again, you know, this is just me thinking outside the box here because you know they want to keep us cooped in, right? But what if a false flag event happens? What if this is all a part of their plan all along? Now, I get it, you know, that's probably just crazy talk, but it looks like this administration is out for war. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy here on YouTube who wants to keep the American public aware of what's happening around us. So you guys go ahead and tell me what you think. Should we be worried about attacks that will happen right here on American soil? Or will this administration do its job and do its best and protect our country as they should? Let me know down below. And before I go, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Thanks for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Keep safe out there. Pray for America. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.